The calendar may say autumn, but temperatures are still pretty sweltering here in North Florida. But the good news, the radar is clear. Still, hydration will be key today at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. This defense for the Jags, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Now Dobbins again on second down. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. The Ravens send their punter out now. They'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds back near their own 20. On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They get this to Beckham on the perimeter. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in 3rd in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. He's got a man, it's his tight end, that's complete. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
On 1st down, Lawrence. And he'll let this one go deep for Chuck. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. It's a big play for the Jaguars. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On play action, Lawrence. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders fly into the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly. and forcing incompletions.
2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence. And he comes back with one complete. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On 3rd down, Lawrence to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
The kick by Lambeau is good, and the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
Oh, it certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off, they'll be sluggish coming into this game. So I've heard that he spent more time in practice working what they call good versus good, starting offense versus starting defense. They want a fast start in this next game.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you know, the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with, they'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Ross on the return. Touchdown, Jaguars. Mark that down as an 85-yard punt return. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly for 6. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. The lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And there, of course, was a lot of talk about this ball game coming into play. Two division leaders in the AFC. Could this be a potential playoff preview down the line?
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about the talk about this game coming into play, you're talking about me because I blew up your phone all week prior to this one. I was so excited about this game because, to me, it's not out of the realm of possibility that these two teams see each other again down the road. I like this matchup. They match up very well against each other.
This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's third down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now it's Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw complete there to Bateman. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. Dobbins running out of the gun. And a solid run down inside the 30. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offense coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
From the 29, Jackson escaping the pressure right. This will be caught by Brown.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now it's Jackson. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And they're going to have a 3rd down. To throw. Steps away to his left. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Nick Boyle, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have cut it to within a score. Well, he scrambled outside of the pocket, wondered what was going to happen there. He fired a dart. That's what happened.
He certainly did. Scrambled left, looked left, and then left it in the receiver's hands with some dispatch.
In the receiver's hands, in the end zone for the score. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tails out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson, nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Credit the sack to Malik Jefferson. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. Good defense. Holds him only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
The coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. John Ross. He scored on a punt return, and now he's scored through the air. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And this is incomplete. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. They go play action now. Jackson. And that is incomplete.
That time defense just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing on 2nd and long. Lawrence flushed out right. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
He's going deep for Brown. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip, and I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
On 2nd down, Etienne once more. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll run with Etienne.
And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
They'll run. It's Etienne.
And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
And now they'll throw it with Lawrence.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
One more time with Etienne.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown.
Travis Etienne.
His 11th touchdown of the year.
And the Jaguars take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away.
And it'll come out to the 20. Five as he will not attempt a return.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now a first carry for their fullback. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Normally when you see a short gain in the middle of a 3-4 defense, go ahead and pat the nose tackle on the back because he's holding things up and taking out extra blockers, which allows one of the inside linebackers to roam free and make the tackle.
This pass broken. Contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. They're going to try and throw.
Open man is Bateman. It's complete.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it.
And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play that time through the air. 37 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the... huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Jackson. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Jackson from the shotgun. Flush to his right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. That's into a crowd and intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Jags will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
He's got a man complete. And they finally get him down at the other 46. It's a big play for the Jaguars.
And they'll throw on 1st down with Lawrence.
He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And past the 35, 25, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
A give, running right, ETN. A first down and more, ETN.
And finally taken down at the 15.
48 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
And not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
ETN. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Travis Etienne.
His second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season.
And the Jaguars add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Josh Allen in there to get him, and on the season now that is 9 sacks for him. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Play action. Now Jackson.
Throw right side here taken in by Bateman.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Oh, it's complete. A diving grab there by Brown. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Play action. It's Jackson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field.
And oh, he almost had his 2nd pick of the game. Probably should have. And he's frustrated as it falls incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again is Jackson.
Another shot for Bateman. This time he's got it.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Eluding the pressure right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on 1st down. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Jackson. This is caught. It's Brown. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 15-yard line.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down, being chased out left. And he's got his big tight end here. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. From the gun, Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. On second and goal, Jackson. Dancing to his left. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Right now, no questioning the toughness of this Jaguar defense. This is third and goal. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. Right now, no questioning the toughness of this Jaguar defense. This is third and goal. They go play action with Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And he's got it. The completion there brings up a rush, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Completed pass brings up a fourth down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin, fourth quarter, you're going. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They're turned away on fourth and goal. And the Jaguars are able to come up with a goal line stand. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive as they try to finish things off in this fourth quarter, and that current 5-game win streak looking like it's going to go to 6. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense can crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
ETN once more. And they're going to get the first down here as he's up to the 14. For Jacksonville. It was their defense that really made the statement after